Afternoon, everybody. This is Mike Booth for Selectmen calling to order the special meeting of the Wellington Board of Selectmen, June 9th, 2026 at 4 p.m. Everyone join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, present to speak. Let's start in the room. Anyone present to speak? There is only one at the beginning because it's a short special meeting. So.
Steph Summers, I would just say a word about this third referendum proposed budget, in that it is a total of $350,000 reduced from the 350. I mean the BOE proposed budget, and I'm not sure exactly what percentage point that puts it on spending, but it would be under the rate of inflation for sure. And the tax increase, I believe, is short of the original 3.9. I haven't seen the final numbers on that. Maybe you have, but if you do, I hope I heard it during the meeting. And that is a significant reduction due to the fact that they have an extra high needs child that has made the 7th transfer out student in town that cost us to the tune of $200,000 each. So they basically have to overcome that, plus increases in the health insurance, which you all did a great job of negotiating downward with providers, but or with rebidding. But it's still high. It's still in the double digits, and that's some money. and other costs that they have. Altogether, we're not really sure because DOE meets tonight in terms of what they will actually cut to make up the $350,000 loss to their budget to them, and they will. That will include definitely positions to some degree, paraprofessional positions that augment the learning, and the classroom teachers with heavy effects of post-COVID mental health and counseling issues that they have within the classroom. And I just think that I'm not certain that the public knows fully how serious this is in terms of reduction of staff and services in the schools, given that they're overcoming a lot of costs that were built into this budget, not by their design. Thank you.
Thank you. Online, Nick.
Nick Tella, Murder Road. So I just wanted to say the new proposed budget seems to be where the tax increase is about 4.68. There was no meaningful cut, as we all know, from the last meeting till this now third referendum. The school budget's set to go in the last 3 years to be over $1.2 million. I mean, the student teacher ratio is 7.5. Even though in Connecticut education says it should be, it can be up to 12 to 1. So we're drastically overstaffed by every single metric you can see out there. I hope that the Board of Selectmen can maybe, I don't know what the powers are, to say, you know what, this is not a good idea to send this to town meeting, because it's just going to come back with a fourth referendum, since the Board of Finance failed to listen to the voters and only made a $50,000 cut. So, I expect that it probably will go, but I hope you guys do the right thing and just say, you know what, let's not waste time. Let's send this back to the Board of Finance to have some meaningful cuts to not waste any more time and money. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else online? Dee Dee? Anybody else online?
Sorry, I forgot to unmute.
Okay. Dee
Yeah, Dee Jones, Lucian Road. Although these numbers keep getting thrown around a lot, I think it's really important to remind everyone that the staff to student ratio is not 7 to 1. That includes the paraprofessional and other school staff, which I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of. So it's more about 15 or so to 1, depending on the class. And with these decreases, the potential for increasing to over 20 is extreme. We have spoken about that in the past, and I don't think that with the amount of special needs children that we have in our school, which is the highest percentage in the surrounding districts, I don't think that that's a feasible option for the special needs students in a small classroom. Again, pointing out that that includes paraprofessionals, and it is a state mandate to have 1 to 1 as far as paras and other special needs children. And that's just not going to be possible if we continue to cut positions, which would increase our outplacements and increase our budget that does not go to our classroom students. I would like the Board of Finance to take this into account before proceeding with any further cutting. Thank you.
Thank you. Nick, since you spoke once, I'm just going to give you a minute for a quick one. So go ahead. Nick, are you there?
Mike, I can't find out how to raise my hand on this, but if I may have a moment, this is Emily.
Yes.
From.
Go ahead, Emily. Just identify yourself and your road.
Yep, Emily Kennedy, Batty Road. I would kind of like to mirror a little bit of what Nick said and what Dee Dee said. I respect the passion for sure, and I am not opposed to an increase in the Board of Education budget, especially if it's going to the classroom teachers and raises and things that they need. I just feel that the increase is a little bit egregious, and I would really have expected to see a lot more cut than what was. It's not even a cut in my mind. I hate everybody saying it's a cut. It's a decrease to the ask. It's not a budget cut. We're not removing monies from our current budget. And I would just like to be on record saying that I'm not opposed to an increase, but I need it to be more reasonable. That's all. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Nick, are you trying to come back in?
Yeah, sorry about that. Where I am in Vernon, bad cell. Real quick, just wanted a point of clarification on 15 show. That is factually correct when you're looking at core rooms. There are classrooms and student to teacher ratio. So as a previous speaker, she is correct, 15 to 1. It is recommended to go up to 20, and even the state of Connecticut says 20. So just to clear that, but we are fine. Thank you.
Okay, you were a little broken up, but I think we got the gist of your message anyway. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I add something
Stephanie?
real quick? I just wanted to add that one of the things on the chopping block for the BOE is the pay to play sports option, which would mean sports would cost a family around $240 per sport per child to participate in the school sports program. The downfall of this, or the maybe unknown downfall of this, is that it's already kind of aggressive, or it's kind of challenging for small districts to form full teams with all the positions and everything else to compete in their league. With this, if families opt out because of the cost coming to their household directly, there's a chance that we won't be able to field teams, if this does come about, And it is on the table. They haven't made their final decisions, but they're down into the territory where this is a big option.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I think that does it for present to speak. We'll go into new business, budget overview. We'll just kind of do a brief because we're down to the education budget now. As already has been pointed out, since the last referendum, the education budget request has been reduced by $50,000 since the last referendum. And just in the view of pointing out facts, the overall budget between the current fiscal year and the proposed fiscal year is still an increase. The reduction has been taken from that increase. So the increase is reduced. The terminology is important because even with the budget increase year over year, at this current funding level, it is still a reduction in programs. It's not a reduction in the total budget, but it's a reduction in programs because the cost of delivering those programs is going up. I hope that provides some clarity for people. On the topic of whether this board should send it back to the Board of Finance, while this board certainly has the ability to vote no on sending this to referendum, it's not typically how it's done. It's typically understood, particularly when a board is elected, such as the Board of Finance, they report directly to the people. They don't report to us. And so the Board of Finance being elected has proposed a budget. Whether it is wise or not wise to send that budget to referendum is kind of not really our purview. The Board of Finance has to report to the people. We are really more procedural. If there's something defective in the request, or if we think it's just like there's something really seriously wrong with it, of course we should address that. We can vote against sending it to referendum, but typically our job is to allow the process to move to the next step so it can go to town meeting really, and so that the people can participate at the town meeting level. So
that's where it goes to referendum. We don't
we
decide. We
right.
call the town meeting.
Right.
The people
and I
decide.
said incorrectly as I started there. I said referendum.
Right. The people decide whether or not it goes to referendum, and they can vote to not.
At that meeting, they can vote not to send it to the referendum.
Right. So,
correct.
Right. So we're really just a vehicle that the Board of Finance uses to get the town meeting goal.
Yes.
And it's their, like you said, it is their budget, and they are the ones presenting it to the town at this meeting.
Right.
The only thing they can effectively vote on is whether or not to set the date
Right.
for referendum.
It's not whether to.
Correct. And we have an ordinance around that as well. So,
right. Yes. So anything else in budget overview? Okay. Item B, Board of Finance request to add budget question of too high, too low. We did have that request from the Board of Finance to see if we could do that. It is an interesting topic. I think there is a lot of interest in adding that. I was hoping we could, but the review of the town attorney indicated one critical sticking point, and that is the law that allows this to be done can be, in this case, is superseded by local charter and or ordinances.
Board of Finance ordinance.
And we have an ordinance that has very specific language about how the budget is approved. And it essentially, and I'm going to probably, I don't want to, this isn't a quote. It essentially says it must be approved in exactly this manner. And exactly that manner does not include a question about high or low. So the lawyer's interpretation was there's the potential, if we were to go to referendum with an added question, with the ordinance the way it is, someone could potentially file an appeal or injunction or whatever, stop the referendum if it was before the referendum happened, or if it was after, it would potentially negate the vote of the referendum because it is not exactly in line with the town ordinance. And so the solution to that is we either just continue to follow the ordinance that way, or we look at revising the wording of the ordinance a little bit to allow us to add non-binding advisory questions to the budget. We can in other, but in the budget approval, it says must be done exactly this way. So, I don't think we should add the question because I don't think we should risk that legal snafu.
So I move that we don't add additional questions to the referendum. Right, so we have to make.
I don't think we even.
Don't we have to make a motion on it?
Well, since it was that's an interesting point, since it was a request.
Well, I move that we
then
don't
I'm
add-
gonna second your motion to not add,
Okay,
our motion to not do anything.
and that discussion, and even though it's the statute allows it, we have an ordinance, a town ordinance that that overrides that statute. So if we wanna change it, we can go to another town meeting and.
Yeah, I
change
think
that.
there's a lot of interest from the
Absolutely.
townspeople of having an advisory
I think
question.
that's fine.
I think for the budget referendum, it would make sense to update the ordinance.
Wow,
That's kind of advisory questions.
When was that ordinance created? Any idea?
I didn't look
Yeah, I
at,
mean, the Board of Finance was 68. I mean, things were very, very different back then, so. And the Board of Finance
was
was
a
still.
little smoother back then too.
yeah, and I mean, the lawyer said it's not that we know the intent.
Right, exactly. We don't know.
It's just that if you are black and white about the language,
Mhm.
that's what the language says.
So essentially, your motion is to deny the Board of Finance request.
Yeah, deny the way, right, to add no new questions. And Board of Finance, we have to add a budget.
Yeah, I think we could have also just taken no action on it, but I think formalizing it with a motion is not a bad idea.
Good practice.
It proves that we have talked about it
Good practice.
and said no.
So.
I didn't communicate the wrinkle.
Any more discussion on the motion to not add the question?
No.
All those in favor of not adding the question, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Not often you get to do a motion to not do something.
Yeah.
Okay, item 4C, call of the town meeting. I'm going to read the call. I move that we do the following call. Town of Wellington notice and warning, town budget meeting for education. The electors of the town of Wellington and all persons who are entitled to vote in town meeting on the matters mentioned in the following warning are hereby warned and notified to meet at the Old Town Hall at 11 Common Road in Wellington on Tuesday, June 16th, 2026 at 7 p.m. for the following purposes. Item 1, to discuss the proposed education budget for the fiscal year July 1, 2026 to June 30, 2027. General government total passed at the June 2nd, 2026 referendum is $7,013,713. Estimated education budget K through 8, $10,351,957. Estimated Region 19 budget passed at the May 5th, 2025 referendum, $4,975,893. Total town budget, $22,341,563. Total estimated revenues, $4,566,287. To be raised by taxation, $17,775,276, less the applied fund balance of $341,000, bringing us a net amount to be raised by taxation of $17,434,276. Item 2, to set a date not less than 7 nor more than 14 days thereafter for a vote on the annual education budget by a separate yes or no vote on the voting machines. Item 3, to set the town office building as the polling place and to set the hours of the referendum during which votes may be cast, not less than between the hours of 12 o'clock noon and 8 o'clock p.m., and not more than between the hours of 6 o'clock a.m. and 8 o'clock p.m. That's the end of the call right there. And that was a motion. So discussion on that motion.
The second. Maybe.
Oh, we need a second. I second. Okay.
Okay. I, just a friendly amendment. I suspect You used the word estimated before Region 19 in your motion. And I believe the only estimated Region 19 passed. It's not an estimated budget.
Or I think it passed as an estimated budget.
Well, then all budgets are estimated.
There's a reason for that one though. I don't remember what it is. I think because revenues are unknown or something.
Right.
So I think
That's a strange way of doing things.
how long have you been in town government? We have a lot of strange ways of doing things.
Yes, I know. I'm just questioning.
This is the same, this is the same as all our other calls. I agree that the past referendum makes it a little weird, but it's not gonna be incorrect either.
I'm not suggesting it's something incorrect. It's just terminology. That's not a big deal. I'll let it slide.
Okay, cool. Your benevolence is overflowing. Any other comments?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimously, okay. Old business, 5A, revised project cost for emergency services facility grant. When the whole grant packet was put together, the way you have to do all the calculations, you have to include the 10 million number I had originally given you was just the construction.
Okay,
I didn't include the whole formula.
okay.
And when you look at between some cost escalations and the whole formula, it came out to 12.6. No change in any of the other conditions, just the calculation of the number was wrong.
Okay.
The suggestion through the CIF people was that we vote at a subsequent meeting to revise the previous resolution to change that number to 12. Let's say it right.
What was the first one?
12.6 million. It was at 10. It was 10 million before.
Okay.
And it should be 12.6 million. I hadn't included contingency and all that stuff.
So the motion would be about the grant that.
The motion would be about revising the resolution, the number in the resolution.
I see.
It's still a grant application.
It's still just an application. That's all it is. But we have to, as the body that approves the resolution, we have to correct the number.
Mhm.
So I'll make a motion that we revise the total amount in the previous resolution from $10 million to $12.6 million for the grant application. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Would like the honors. All in favor of what's that word? Adjournment, thank you. Say aye. Aye. Thank you all. Thank you to the public for attending this odd hour, but we're just trying to keep the wheels of government moving. So we appreciate you jumping in with us at 4 o'clock.
Did you do the old business? Oh, you did. Okay, I'm sorry. I just missed that. That was
the 12 point.